Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Welcome, everyone, to one of the most legendary and unforgiving circuits in all of motorsport, Sebring International Raceway. Tonight, the grid takes on the historic concrete airfield turned racing battleground, where endurance is everything and mistakes come at a heavy cost. This track is famous for its brutal bumps, low grip surface, and ever-changing conditions as the sun begins to set over Florida. Drivers will be wrestling their machines every lap, managing tire wear, surviving the infamous concrete slabs, and finding rhythm through corners like Sunset Bend, where races can be won or thrown away in an instant. Precision, patience, and survival. That's the name of the game here tonight. So buckle up, because this is West Coast Sim Racing, and this is Sebring, folks. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. This is West Coast Sim Racing Porsche Cup. We're headed into the sunset here at Sebring. Tonight's sponsor is going to be Ignition Sim Racing, the premier sim racing center in Tucson, Arizona, folks. We're already into round 5 of this 12-round championship. We've been to Daytona, Hockenheim, Watkins Glen, and Spa. Now it's time for Sebring and then Monza. As we get ready to wrestle with the bumps here at Sebring, let's take a look at the championship points. With 2 wins to his name, Nathaniel Redmond leads the championship points by 7. And Zach Severe coming off of his hot win last week. Brennan Myers in 3rd, Edwin Onofre in 4th, Josh Hunter in 5th. Joe Rainey, Alexei Andreu, Luis Holloway, Sergio Orestes, Nico Colby will round out your top 10. But it's still close further on back from Michael Odell to Colton Juarez. From P11 to P20, it's only 13 points that separate the field. Headed into Sebring, it's 3.7 miles or 5.954 kilometers. Founded in 1950, the first race was held December 31st. We are located in Sebring, Florida, with 17 corners, 7 to the left, 10 to the right, and 3 to 6 feet of elevation change in localized areas. The drivers are definitely going to be competing with the track more than they are going to be competing with each other. But we all know with West Coast Sim Racing, the tables can be turned and our expectations can be put on our head. Taking a look at the race analysis, it will be a 45-minute feature race with a pit road speed of 80 kph, unlimited tire sets available, one competition caution, and 100% fuel and open setups available. I'm your host, Sangerbachi, tonight on the mic and in the booth here from Sebring. On behalf of V-Speed, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Get notifications for when we go live next. Let's go ahead and go trackside for the last few minutes of qualifying. Headed into the sunset, let's take a look at the tower as well. It will be Onofre topping the charts with Brennan Myers in tow. Michael Odell in third, Josh Hunter, Brendan Birch, Zach Severe in sixth, Smith Crowther, Dylan Lee, Colton Juarez, Andreas Profina, George Lawrence, Connor T. Cunningham, Sergio Restes, Igor Rizkov, Lewis Holloway, Alexei Andre, Warren Johnson, Nico Colby, and Joe Rainey. And the last 2 minutes of the session, folks. Who do you think's gonna come out on top? And who do you think's gonna come out best of the rest here at one of the most dangerous parts of the track? We head down into Sunset Bend, turn 17. Late on the brakes for the number 24. He chucks it in deep and hard, gets really late on the brakes, hugs close to the wall, and you can see how much he is bumping and banging. Lewis Holloway in tow, doing the same but dragging it all the way out to the wall. Where does Warren Johnson fall? P15 at the end of the day with a 201.329. Lewis Holloway not only behind physically on track, but behind there on the leaderboard as well. Holloway parking it here and now. It'll be Onofre, Brennan Myers, and Michael Odell topping the charts currently. The 197 of Odell. Best lap out was a 1:59.483. Can it be beat at this attempt with 30 seconds remaining? It's going to be a last lap attempt for Odell to get up on the front row as they bounce through turn 17 Sunset Bend. It'll be tricky to get it done, but if anybody can do it, Odell can. And last lap around, well, that wasn't valid for Odell. What about Birch? Does he have anything left in the tank? No, that'll be it for Birch as well. What about the man who won at Spa-Francorchamps last time out? The Iron Dames 714 machine, looking pretty well equipped to come home victory lane in Belgium last time running. Can they improve this time out? Zach Severe gets to the line. Again, not a valid lap for Zach, leaving him in 6th place. Sergio Restes last lap, best lap, that 201.032 will be it. And 201.66 for Igor Rizkov. And Warren Johnson, that 201.329. But the best time set by Onofre was a 1:59.112. And as the session concludes, folks, we have a couple keys to the race. Key number one, mastering the bumps and the track surface here at Sebring. It's going to be the key to victory. Key number two, brake smoothly and efficiently. Many Sebring's corner require trail braking, so carrying speed into the apex without losing control is imperative. Key braking zones being turn 7, turn 10, and turn 17. Key number three, optimizing corner exits for speed. Since many of Sebring's corners lead onto long straights, maximizing exit speed to gain time down the straightaways. Critical exits are turn 6, 13, and 16, Le Mans curve, especially coming down the Ullman Straight. Beautiful sight here in Florida. As the sun begins to set, the temperature begins to cool just a little bit more. Mostly cloudy skies, 65 degrees Fahrenheit with a cooling track, 66 degrees Fahrenheit there as well. Take a look at our starting grid, shall we? Starting in first place, it'll be Edwin Onofre and Brennan Myers lining that first row. Michael Odell and Josh Hunter on the second. Third going to Brandon Birch and Zach Severe. Fourth for Mitch Crowther and Dylan Lee. Colton Juarez and Andreas Profina. Then George Lawrence and Connor T. Cunningham. Sergio Orestes and Igor Rizkov line the 7th, and 8th for Warren Johnson and Lewis Holloway. Further back, Alexei Andreu and Nico Colby, with Joe Rainey in 19th place. As the sun has set, darkness has engulfed the track here in Sebring. And this is going to be a little bit difficult for the drivers to manage their brake markers now more than ever. If they were uncomfortable with them before, they'll be more uncomfortable with them now, that's for sure. DKM3 in the YouTube chat saying Sergio is the GOAT. That's the number 86 of Sergio Orestes, starting in 13th position. Watch out for Brennan Myers in that number 23 machine. We haven't seen races go his way all the time, but there is a man who's got some pace beneath him, that's for sure. It's a shame it's so dark out. We can't see the beautiful liveries that the drivers have on track. And one of the nice ones that I like to look at is Brennan Myers. And of course, Edwin Onofre, as he's got the teeth monster that I've called out time and time again. More importantly, for this championship at least, this race looks to be Colby free, as well as seeing Jeremy Fletcher not participating. Now, Fletcher is a typical GR86 Cup driver, but especially not seeing Colby's in this race as Nico is in pit lane right now. And Joe Rainey did take the start. Here the drivers come through the backside of the racetrack behind the pace car. And of course, the exciting bit to these championships that are brought to you by West Coast Sim Racing are these competition cautions. This won't be the last time we see the safety car out on track leading the field. So expect to see the packs come back together again, and we'll go racing at Sebring for a second time under the same race condition or under the same race night. That always provides an extra bit of spice for the drivers, allowing some to climb through the ranks for a second time or solidify their runs to the top, such as Zach Severe last time out. Was able to run very well at Spa, chopping up that race into 2 bits, and on that race restart, getting a good dive into P2 at La Source. Let us know your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to come out on top? And who do you think is going to be best of the rest here at Sebring? And as the pace car comes in, we'll patiently wait for the green flag to fall. And it's green, 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 folks, here for West Coast Sim Racing, leading down towards corner number 1. It will be Onofre, but there's Zach Severe trying to go for a move, and he's in a forced situation 3 wide further back, and there's 2 off in the background. I think that might be Colton Harez and Andres Profina caught up in the mix back there. Dylan Lee and George Lawrence going toe-to-toe and blow for blow, and there's a big tank slapper for the 86 of Sergio Orestes, who's in 10th place. Here is Zach Severe chasing down the number 18 Clementine of Josh Hunter out in front. Up the straight we go, or out of the hairpin into the Fangio chicane. It's not really straight there, but the drivers are going to straight line it as much as they possibly can, and the 714 is going to succumb to Brandon Birch's attack here and now. Side by side through some of the trickiest parts of the track, coming out of Cunningham Corner through Collier Curve into Tower Turn. Birch falls back. Down the Flying Fortress straight, it's single file line for everybody through the field right now. And there's a leader coming through. Edwin Onofre leading Brennan Myers, Michael Odell, Josh Hunter. Zach Severe, Brandon Birch, Mitch Crowther battle for the lead as Onofre gets attacked by Brennan Myers. He bounces his way through corner 17. Onofre can't retaliate, but he doesn't need to as the 23 spins out all on his own. Oh no! This is going to allow Michael Odell and Josh Hunter to challenge forward as well in this league championship. Odell into second place. Severe already up into third, battling with Josh Hunter now, the Clementine. Brandon Birch trying to defend and attack through the hairpin. Isn't going to work. Have to pick one or the other. And it will be a safe defense back from George Lawrence. Michael Odell, 1/3 away from Onofre in a battle for the lead. Because Onofre had to check up so much, he closed down with the rest of the battling pack behind. Here's Johnson, Igor Rizkov, Mitch Crowther, duking it out side by side, and a spin for the 73. That's Mitch Crowther going around at the tower turn. Battle for the lead. The gap comes down to around 0.2 seconds between Odell and Onofre. On the racetrack, nearly nothing separating the two drivers here and now. 2 numbers separate on track, 2 numbers separate them on the track as well. It's 0.2, I mean. The 199 gets chased down by the 197. Although they're similarly badged, I doubt they're going to be battle brothers, as Onofre is looking for another win out on track. Good haul of points for him in the championship. This might be his maiden win, actually. Average finish for Onofre has been 3rd place up until this point. Average start, well, that's been 2nd place. And no wins to his name up until this point. Look at this pack of drivers from Onofre: Odell, Hunter, Severe, Birch, Lawrence, and Dylan Lee. Every driver in this train is within a second of their partner out in front of them. Further back, Igor Rizkov and Andreas Profina are chasing down Warren Johnson. Single file line. Takes the same line. And Brennan Myers on his recovery drive back in P13 lurks in the wings. Here's Igor Rizkov. Chasing down Warren Johnson. We're keeping an eye on the lead battle there and that delta. I don't want it to run away on me, but 0.4 is the margin. Oh, a little bit of an off there for Igor Rizkov. He's going to fall back behind Brennan Myers now. Brennan Myers might have the run on Profina as well. Late on the brakes, going down into the hairpin. The number 23 in the Fangio chicane gets the 2-for-1 special. Over to Odell, who's all over the rear wing of Onofre, is pushing hard. but keeping it honest on the racetrack is going to be imperative. And beautiful sunset shots here for the drivers as we go into full darkness as the sun disappears completely behind the backdrop of the Sebring Hills. Onofre and Odell, 2/10 separate them right now, and Odell's got a good run coming down in towards turn number 1. But it won't be enough. Attacking, no, assaulting the curbs here. The 199 and the 197 are turning these Porsches into bicycles with how much airtime they're getting those two wheels up. Further back, Josh Hunter gets chased down by Zach Severe in his hunt for a back-to-back podium. Warren Johnson defends off Andreas Profina's attacks, coming down into Cunningham corner. And through Collier curve, it'll be nose to tail between the 95 and the 24. The 24 keeps on driving like there's nothing wrong behind him. Whoa, and there's Lewis Holloway coming across the track. And that causes everybody to check out. And Warren Johnson's going to lose out that one position to Profina. Holloway back on track, battles with Joe Rainey. And has Connor T. Cunningham in the wings behind. Michael Odell still just 3/10 away from the leader right now. Brandon Birch going after it with Zach Severe. Through turn 1. Birch definitely showed that he has the confidence to manage the bumps. He'll need to do that again coming through turn 17 to attack through the first corner. Over to the leaders again. The gap comes down to less than 2/10. Odell has a good run on the 199, but can't get fully alongside Onofre. And with just 33 minutes remaining in this race, it's about that time to call the competition caution. And when it comes out, ooh, it's going to be a mad dash for the end of the race, folks. Maybe about 5 to 10 minutes time, expect to see that caution come out. So in roughly a lap or two. Onofre and Odell. Right into the headlights of Odell behind. Absolutely nothing separating these two drivers. And I am surprised that with all this battling, they haven't been able to gap Josh Hunter. But here's the attack from Odell, and it came and went at Gurney Bend. And perhaps a little too much exit curve taken there at turn 3 for Onofre resulted in the change for the lead. A little bit of a hop and a skip for Odell, not once but twice in through Collier curve. Joe Rainey, Lewis Holloway, and Igor Rizkov. All battling it out, but here comes Onofre on Odell into turn 17. Onofre on an alternate line, trying to get a run on Odell. Run is on, but it's not looking good for Onofre. A little too far back to make anything happen there. Here's Dylan Lee and George Lawrence battling it out. The 81 of Lawrence parks it on the apex of turn 1, and Lee's able to catch up and close down the gap, park it on the apex himself through corner number 3. That'll be a position for Dylan Lee. Through the hairpin, Onofre does close down the gap a little bit to Odell. Sits at around 0.2 of a second. Josh Hunter also closing down his margin. Sits at around 0.8 of a second. Joe Rainey involved in an incident. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened here. Rainey all by himself mounts the curb and gets a tank slapper, and unfortunately for Rainey, has to line up the rear end to get it pointed in the right direction. Is that Warren Johnson? That is Warren Johnson. What is going on here on the backside of the racetrack, folks? Here's Warren Johnson all by his lonesome. See the backside of the track. Is he sight unseen on Joe Rainey? No, just gets over the curb a little bit and then tries to get back on track and lights it up one more time for good measure. George Lawrence wants that position back from Dylan Lee in their battle. The alternate lines taken. Time is gained and lost very differently through that first sector all the way to Gurney Bend. And down to the hairpin. And to Fangio, you can see the alternate lines being taken again, and perhaps that comes down to setup differences between Lawrence and Lee. And Sergio Orestes, update here. He's back in P16, battling with Joe Rainey, who had that spin earlier. Coming off the back of the Sebring 12 hours, you can definitely tell who's been driving the track and knows the bumps here, and those that are unfamiliar with mastering them. Because unlike most circuits, Sebring still uses sections of original concrete runway. The rough surface creates brutal bumps that punish suspension, rattle drivers, and separate the disciplined from the desperate, especially in turn 17 of Sunset Bend, where countless races have been won and lost. Up ahead here, Onofre and Odell exchange their positions as Onofre is in front of Odell yet again. And we should be seeing the competition caution come out this time by, if not this time, definitely by the next lap. As lap times the drivers are able to produce are down already into the 159s, 159.3 last time around for Onofre, as he snatches away the fast lap of the race. Coming out of the Le Mans corner and onto the Ulmann straight. And 25 minutes left of racing to go. And I believe that will be the competition caution called, as all the drivers on the grid are slowing down to be picked up by, yes, it is. We'll settle the battle for the lead and negate the field. Onofre catches up to the safety car. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for more racing action. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no-shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit Overstockvehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. Overstockvehicles.com. Visit us today.
Donnie
is too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Back behind the safety car here at Sebring, we take a look at the timing tower for the positions gained and lost. And as the lights come out on the safety car, that can only mean one thing. That means we're going to go green flag running here in just a few moments. When we come around for the last time behind the safety car, we will go green flag running to the very end of this event. Brennan Meyer is still working his way through the grid on that recovery drive, with basically down in P last. 40 back up into P7, P8, as he continues to lap down into the 159s. Really could have battled with the best of them tonight. Edwin Onofre races the safety car here on its in lap, as I'm sure he's beaming with anticipation for this race restart himself. Because for the second time, he'll have to defend back a heavy hitting contender. This time it will be Michael Odell charging from the outside lane. Onofre will have the inside line going in towards the first corner. But will it be enough to challenge Odell? I'm not so sure, because the fortunate line is usually the outside run. Opening up the turning radius for the first corner is usually the most ideal. We'll have to see if Onofre can get the run on this race restart, especially with the 197 getting alongside here behind the safety car. Don't forget about Zach Severe back in P6 currently. As we line the grid, we think about the Sebring 12 hours that started back in 1952, the inaugural 12 hours of Sebring. And it quickly established Sebring's place in endurance race history. And we're ready to go racing. It's green, green, green for the second time here for West Coast City Racing. Headed down in towards turn one. It will be an opening line, like I said, for Michael Odell, who comes back around on Edwin Onofre. And there's a huge pileup, including Alexei Andre, Lewis Holloway, and Joe Rainey. And there goes the 197 Odell through on Onofre, but now he gets a tank slapper through three, and is going to have a bit of a sketchy rejoin. But no harm, no foul. There goes Brennan Myers, this time on Sergio Orestes, who's made his way back up into P6. Zach Severe up here, battling with the Clementine of Josh Hunter, who falls back to P3. Severe now in a very good position to battle for the lead of the race. Brennan Myers shaking and baking his way through the grid. Finds not one but two. No, is that Onofre spun out? It is. At the end of Cunningham Corner, it looks like he went off through the Collier curve. A replay of what happened here to Onofre. 199 up ahead. Oh, and he just lights it up, and so does the 713. Cold tires plaguing the field. Brennan Myers here battling with Odell, who did recover into P3, but Brennan Myers started this race in P2, so these two are going to drag their pace along to the rear wing of Josh Hunter, who inherited P2. There goes an attacking glance from Brennan Myers in the number 23 onto Odell. On board with Myers. A big defense from the 197 of Odell. Late on the brakes is the number 23, but too late on the brakes as he nearly cooks it going into the hairpin. Alexei Andreu, Dylan Lee, and Connor T. Cunningham all on their recovery drives right now. Up here, it will be Severe, Hunter, Odell. Whoa! And two wheels goes airborne, the 714. Zach Severe nearly lost not only the lead, but his life. Michael Odell gets the inside run down to 17 Sunset Bend. He's going to hold on to the advanced position there, but the 714 snaps back, and the 197 colliders with the barrier. 714, Zach Severe backs off just a little bit, going down in towards turn one. Brandon Birch and Joe Rainey. Two names I didn't think I would find back up in the front pack battle are back on the racing surface. And this might be one of Rainey's better finishes in the top five, as long as he can keep Birch at bay. Rainey, Birch, and then Onofre recovered back in P7. Michael O'Dell doing a good job with his pace. He was 0.2 faster than Josh Hunter. As what happened to Zach Severe, let's see if we can get a replay of what happened. What happened to the 714? Here we go. Ah, yes, the airborne moment. Loses 1 but 2 positions there. Apologies. Over to Michael O'Dell, who chases down Josh Hunter at turn number 1. I just didn't think Zach was so off pace now after having one off. He's last lap around was down into the 2-minute 5. His best lap a 2-minute 2, I guess. It was inevitable for him to get caught by the drivers throwing down 159s. My hope was for the Iron Dames machine to get the win tonight. The back-to-back would have been fantastic for them in the championship standings as they slingshot themselves up into P2 pretty much overnight. Birch, Rainey, Onofre all on track together. Onofre sits in P4 in the championship currently. And tonight definitely could have been a great night for a haul of points for Onofre. Had things just gone his way coming out of Cunningham Corner. Up to the lead with Josh Hunter, Michael O'Dell, and Zach Severe. Josh Hunter fends off the likes of Michael O'Dell for yet another lap here on 17. But on 18, can he do the same? Coming in towards the hairpin, it will be Hunter, O'Dell, Severe, and then Brennan Myers closes down on his recovery drive. Back from the depths of hell, he climbs back out into P4 and all over the rear wing of the Iron Dames machine in front of him. Onofre has Joe Rainey in front of him. Onofre is going to try to get the overlap here. And Rainey tries not to run wide. They both give a gentle lift of the accelerator to ensure they can do this safely and cleanly, but they'll do it at 120 miles an hour. Onofre through on Rainey. Oh, and another incident for Rainey potentially. See what happened here. Rainey's being chased down. I believe that might be Holloway. No, that's the Onofre battle here. And then what happens to Joe Rainey? He goes a little off the track, and oh, he spins it on the rejoin, getting onto the Omen straight. Brennan Myers did get by Odell and Zach Severe in his redemption drive back up into P2, but a 3.8 second gap to Josh Hunter. Can that be overcome in the final stages of the race? George Lawrence and Sergio Orestes battle for 8th and 9th. Andreas Profina and Alexei Andreu behind them by 2.8 seconds. Big off moment for Sergio Orestes behind George Lawrence. Leaving us with a battle between Brennan Myers and Zach Severe. As the leaders just crossed the line, it looks like we will get an additional bonus lap. So this lap plus 2 more, I believe, if my math is correct. As it looks like Josh Hunter will probably cross the line with just a few seconds to spare. Brennan Myers has closed down the gap on Josh Hunter. It was around 8.5 seconds. Now it sits at just 4.0 through the hairpin. Alexei Andreu able to get by Sergio Orestes, and so did Profina in their battle for the top 10. Joe Rainey stuck in this battle pack with Connor T. Cunningham and Dylan Lee. Edwin Onofre climbed through the ranks again, back up into P6, but he sits 1 second behind Brandon Birch, who's most likely not going to give anything up. Only 9 seconds back from the leader is Edwin Onofre. That's all it took to give up the lead of the race. Josh Hunter on lap 20 leads us around Sebring, coming into the hairpin. He just needs to execute a couple more laps cleanly to come home in victory lane. On board with Connor T. Cunningham in his pursuit of Sergio Orestes, but being pursued by Joe Rainey and Dylan Lee. Alexei Andreou catches up to Andreas Profina in his pursuit of P9. One minute and 20 seconds remaining on the clock. I believe that means we will get this one last bonus lap for Josh Hunter in the battle for the lead. Still maintains a 3.2 second gap to Brendan Myers behind. Alexei Andreou trying to find a different line to attack Profina up ahead. Profina takes it all the way out to the pit wall. Dylan Lee, Joe Rainey, and Connor Cunningham. Oh, there's a mistake up ahead. That'll be, I believe, Sergio Orestes. No, that's a lap down car. Be a Camber and Caster car, the 86 of Sergio Orestes, excuse me. That's not a lap down car. That is a battle for position on track. As Sergio Orestes was off the track for just a moment in time, I thought he was trying to get out of the way, but absolutely not. As a big look in the background from Dylan Lee on Joe Rainey, but he was way too far back to make that one successful. Josh Hunter's gonna come down the Ullman Straight for the final time. Coming through turn 17, it will be Josh Hunter's victory tonight in the number 18. He comes out on top in front of Brennan Myers, who comes back into P2. Zach Sevier claims a podium in third in front of Michael Odell. Brandon Birch, Edwin Onofre's recovery to P6. Lewis Holloway comes back in seventh with George Lawrence, Profina, and Alexei Andreou still dragging this one out to the very end. Sergio Orestes in 11th with Dylan Lee, Connor T. Cunningham, Joe Rainey, Igor Rizkov, and Warren Johnson to round it out. It'll be Josh Hunter who started fourth and finished first with Brennan Myers in second. Zach Sevier in third with Michael Odell in fourth. Brendan Birch, Edwin Onofre, Lewis Holloway, George Lawrence, Andreas Profina, and Alexei Andreou. Sergio Orestes, Dylan Lee, Connor Cunningham, Joe Rainey, Igor Rizkov, Warren Johnson, Colton Juarez, Mitch Crother, and Nico Colby rounding out the 19 drivers tonight. As we get the drivers ready for their interviews, let me know in the YouTube chat who would you like to talk to and in which order. Let's talk to our race winner first and foremost. It will be Josh Hunter, who started in fourth and led us for 8 of these laps. Josh, did you think you had it in you tonight to come home with a maiden victory?
No, not quite. I still don't really trust this car, especially on the restarts. But luckily people push a little bit more than I do, and they spin each other out eventually. So it all worked out.
Absolutely. It really did work out for you on this restart. I mean, I think you just let the race come to you more than anything. You didn't look like you were overdriving the car out there, and you just kept it calm, cool, and collected. What was going through your head for the race?
I mean, just like you said, keep it calm and cool, collected. Just do my race. Kind of treat it like an endurance race, just not over push on the first lap, and just if I can stay on the draft, then stay on the draft, and that's really it.
Well, your strategy ended up being successful for you tonight, Josh. It ended up coming out on top. Now, any words for your competitors or anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
Shout out to you for the broadcast and everyone that joins this league, and Edwin for spinning again for like the 3rd time. That was pretty cool.
Brutal, man. That's brutal.
That's
Well, if you can't have fun amongst your friends, who can you make fun of, right?
Yeah.
Well, Josh, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for your participation. You put out a great show tonight.
Thank you.
Let's talk to next Brennan Myers, who had a roller coaster journey here at Sebring, and not just because of the bumps, but because of a little bit of a spin he had earlier on. Brennan Myers, talk to us about your accident and your recovery drive.
Yeah, just another week, another recovery drive, I guess. Same thing happened last week, but this week went into it starting P2 and just went around the last corner, around the bumps, a little too heavy, and spun myself out a little bit. Dropped me back down to 14th. So just initially from lap 1, I was just on a recovery drive today.
Yeah, I mean, it was just unfortunate. But I must say, the way you were able to chop it up through the field and keep it green and clean, to say the least, was very impressive. Yes, you had the pace, but you had to make the overtakes happen here at Sebring. Where did you find them happening?
Fortunately, I kind of got them timed up perfect to where a lot of them were either down the back straight or into the braking zone and into turn 3, I believe, where I had the inside line. So it kind of helped out a lot.
Man, that was great to watch you make those overtakes, Brennan. You're definitely part of the highlight reel tonight, part of V-Speed. Anybody
Awesome,
you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the evening, Brennan?
Definitely going to shout out the cat. We'll keep that going. He's right here next to me, like always.
Yes,
and then we're also going to shout out the grandparents as well. I believe they've been watching a couple of the races and they enjoy watching these.
Glad to hear it. Well, thank you, Grandma, for your support, or Grandpa for their support. Mr. and Mrs. Myers, shall we call them, or Grandpa Myers?
We'll go Grandpa, Grandma. That'll work.
Grandpa, Grandma Myers, right on. All righty. Take care, Mr. Myers. Have a good night, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Appreciate you.
Last but not least, the man who came home third, but coming off the victory at Spa, third probably just doesn't feel the same, does it?
No, not really. I mean, I'm still proud of the result and the points, but it was not my strongest race by any means. I'm kind of amazed I finished on the podium, to be honest, but it was a good fun time anyway, in the end.
You climbed up from a long way back, and about halfway through the race, I was concerned with you. You just weren't looking at your top form, especially with the way that you performed at Spa. But what was going through your head throughout your race, and how did you have the mental fortitude to climb through the ranks?
Yeah, it was just a spotty race from my part. I really enjoy this track and this car, but I couldn't put it together. So at a certain point, I just kind of decided to back off an entire save in the first half to give myself a chance on the restart, which I did. I mean, I led for a period on the restart, but I also think I and I punted a few people at turn one. So I'll take my third, I guess. It was a fun time though.
We'll call it an asterisk or provisional third for now until Warren gives you your lickings. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
There you go. Could have used a different word.
well, until he gives you the stick. How's
Hey,
that?
That's not much better.
Well, I tried. Well,
That's all
Zach,
right.
anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, big shout out to you and your podcast and Warren as well for putting these together. They're a good fun time. I'm really enjoying the season.
Right on, Zach. Thank you very much, brother. Have a great night. And as always, stay safe out there.
You too.
Appreciate it, Zach.
Last but not least, we have our fearless leader and commandant, as always, Warren Johnson.
How we doing, Sagar?
Man, this was an exciting race. Sebring is one of my favorite tracks. I didn't get to watch the 12 hours, so this is a bit of the taste of the 12 hours for me this weekend.
Yeah, that was it's fun. I love this track too, and I'm just not used to the car yet, and you know they call it Pogo Cup for a reason, and I can't remember what lap it was, but I came back on track after a big spin and took someone out, so I ended my race after that. I didn't want to I didn't want to take a position away from someone like that. So, but other than that, no, it was fun despite whatever happened. I always like driving here, and especially at night. This track is so fun at night, so it was a good one.
Absolutely. It was a great show, especially watching Brendan Myers come through the field, Zach Severe get a podium, and Josh Hunter's maiden win here with West Coast Sim Racing.
Absolutely. Is that his first win of the season? That's surprising.
I believe
He's a former
so,
champion.
yeah.
He's a former champion here, so that's surprising. But congrats to him. He's gonna be up fighting for the championship the whole season. So be sure to watch that guy.
Absolutely, brother. Now, any announcements for the championship or for the league in general?
No announcements. What do we got next? We got Monza next week, and then I guess I do have a little bit of announcement. So the Le Mans race in 2 weeks. So we got Monza, and then May 16th, or April 16th, is the Le Mans track, and we're gonna do an endurance race for that week. So it's gonna be kind of a little special event. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. So a good little chunk of time. It'll be fun. I just figured on that track you might as well do an endurance style race. 45 minutes is already pretty long, but I want to give them a little more to think about in this one, and that'll be an interesting one for you. And hopefully you're able to broadcast that one even with the change. I think
Absolutely. Couldn't be anywhere
Yeah.
else. Now, question for you about Le Mans changes is with the time change, is that going to force a pit stop then?
Oh yeah. There's gonna be pit stops. There might be 2.
Oh.
Well, I don't think there'd be 2. They're definitely gonna be 1 though. You're gonna have to pit. I mean, the tires were already roasted at the end of this race, and Le Mans is gonna be the same way. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. You're gonna have a good time watching that one.
I'll be excited for it, Warren. Thank you so much, boss. Have a good one, and I'll catch up with you shortly.
You as well. See you guys on Monday.
See you there. Bye. Well, that, folks, all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned with West Coast Sim Racing here at V-Speed. I've been Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Have a great night. But as always, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.